Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to the Ballerina and the Bodybuilder podcast. Thank you once again for all of the love on the previous episode. And thank you for letting us know that the meal planning one didn't actually go up. So we had a little bit of an issue with the Buzzsprout. Lucy's face. um, some with that episode going up, and we like reposted like episode 6 or something.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you haven't listened to the meal planning episode, go back and listen to it. And for any of my clients listening out there, or if they're listening back in the future, go back and listen to all these episodes. And I know Lucy's going to say the same thing because this is like an extra educational resource for you. Okay. All of these episodes, there's going to be something in there beneficial for you to learn. And even if you take one thing away that you've learned from this episode, make sure that you tell us, make sure that you share it to your stories. And even if you're not a client, please make sure you share this to your stories. And tag us in your stories as well when you're listening to it. If you're out on your walks in the morning, kind of segueing into what we're going to be talking about this morning, give us a tag, screenshot where you're listening to the podcast on. So if it's YouTube or Spotify, if you're looking at our beautiful faces this morning, and give us a tag. Let us know where you're listening, the podcast, where you're listening, where you're where you
Well,
are. You're listening to the
I
podcast.
love that.
Excuse me. There we go. So yeah, welcome back. It is officially peak week for Miss Lucy Christodoulou here, and she's looking absolutely insane. We were just chatting beforehand, before we just started the press the record button, how she's feeling, how things are looking. Girl, guys, you gotta like if there's a live stream for her show, if there's any if you're in Australia and you're going, like, if you can get to her show, oh my God, go and watch Miss Lucy. She looks, I'm not gaslighting her. I'm not blowing smoke up her bum. I'm not biased. I'm being truthful and honest here. She looks like a professional. She looks like a professional. I kid you not. She is absolutely incredible. So I couldn't be more proud of all of the work that she has put into all of this. And if you are a friend of hers or an acquaintance of hers or even a client, I would definitely go and support Miss Lucy on her show day because it's going to be incredible. And she's going to do us all proud because she's already done us proud. But anyway, Lucy, how are you feeling this morning?
Oh my God, that was a very nice start to the day or start to the podcast. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very proud of us. I'm very proud of us. I'm feeling good. Like I'm just feeling like as if it's literally 7 days away. Like this seems insane to me. It feels like only yesterday I was like 22 weeks,
Yeah.
like literally having my first meal on prep. Like it's insane. And even just like little things like this morning, I had actually yesterday morning I had cardio taken out, and Katie messaged me and goes, no cardio. And I thought she was joking. And I was like walking to the gym. I was like, dee, dee, dee. Like it's like 4. I'm like kicking my feet in the dark. And I'm like, sorry, wait, are you joking? And she's took like longer than 30 seconds to reply. And I was like, Katie, are you joking? Are you joking? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Because I was like, bitch, I'm at the gym. I was like, tell me what I'm doing. I was like, surely she's joking. And I'm like trying not to get emotional. I'm like, okay, she's joking. Like, I'm going to get on the stairs and then she's going to respond. And then you responded literally as I walked to the gym door and was like, no, I'm not joking. Get off the fucking stairs. And I was like, oh, wait, what? Like, you've taken a part of my personality. I'm happy about it, but like, I don't know what to do about it. So I just did some like walking and it was great. And yeah, it's just been like, it's been really interesting because like I started my carb up today, like just getting more carbs into my body. And it's been the most interesting thing, like just like walking down the street, like my legs are going in front of each other, not like dragging by the toes behind. And I was like, oh my God, this is like
What
energizing. Like,
energy feels like.
yeah, literally. And I was like, even like the little things, like my intra workout, like I just absolutely adore my intra. Like it's just something that when I was in my improvement season, I was like, oh, this is like so sweet. And now it's like, the thing that's like, this is delicious. Like so good. I'm like, savor this shit. And anyway, today I just had no attachment to my intro. I was like, oh, cool, there's my intro. Like, boom, done. And it was just like, just so many little things, like a new cream of rice. It was delicious. Like, it's been really, really lovely. So I'm getting really excited now. It's like I've booked all my appointments for the week. So like nails, hair, extensions, all that jazz, which is cool. I'm still getting around without a car. If anyone doesn't know, the car is in the shop. Lucy did a bit of Delulu driving, as per usual. I'm just going to give you guys a little insight into the car just for 5 seconds. I was literally, this is the power of talking to yourself. I was literally talking to myself as I was driving before this crash. And I was literally saying the words out loud to myself. Lizzie, what have you done to make this day so amazing? Like, you have just nailed this day. Hey Siri, send a message to mum. And I go, send a message to mum. It's all coming up, Millhouse mum. I'm feeling amazing. Boom, straight into the curb. Like, what the guys, this is the power of talking to yourself. So if you're
Siri,
gonna talk to
cancel
yourself,
the message.
literally, it went through, and she was like, "Is it still coming up, Millhouse?" And I was like, "No, no, babe."
No.
So, guys, talk to yourself, have self-talk, but make sure you're doing it when you're in a carved up, fed, non-delusional, non-driving state. Okay, because this is the power of it. Okay, but yes, other
You're
than that,
back in your house, in your bed.
yeah, with your journal, just chill it out, guys. Just chill it out. You don't need to do self-work all the time. But yeah, no, I'm feeling good. Really, really excited. My bikini's here, which is just incredible. Like,
amazing.
it is incredible. It's very spicy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're spicy.
So yeah,
Anyway,
feeling good.
let's get into this episode 9 of the podcast. So introduce the episode. What are we going to be talking about today?
So, guys, we wanted to have a little bit of a discussion about something that we find very, very important in our day, and something that anchors us, something that grounds us, and something that sets us up for success every single day. And that is about our morning and nighttime routines. And personally, I just love listening to people's morning and nighttime routines, getting bits that I like, seeing why people are doing what they're doing, the benefit of it. And honestly, a morning routine and a nighttime routine, but I'm really big with the morning, is something I probably implemented like 5-6 years ago. And I see in people a lot, when they first put in a morning routine, it's very overwhelming. Like, they want to do everything. And I was that person that had like the 2-hour morning routine. Like, I was like, okay, we have like the 45-minute Reiki session, and then we have like the 20-minute journaling session, then we watch the YouTube. And it's like, we can really overcomplicate it, right? People can really, really, really overcomplicate it. And it gets to be simple, but it has to be suited to you. So you're not going to want to copy everything I say I do in my morning. That would be silly. You're not going to want to copy everything Katie does in a night. That would be silly. But you can take inspiration from the things that you go, oh, that one sounds kind of good and could be like the vibe for my day. And we're going to give explanations as to why we do the things we do. I'm actually going to guess that we have fairly similar morning and nighttime routines. I will guess that because we're fairly similar people, and we have the same sort of values anyway. Yeah. So that is that. But yeah, just kind of a bit of an explanation as to what even the benefit of a morning and nighttime routine is. So do you want to get us started on benefits of a morning, or just routine in general, with those two things?
So as creatures, as humans, we crave routine. Okay, we crave routine. We crave like similar patterns in our days, and that is brought into us by like prehistoric times when we were cavemen. Okay, we had routines when we were back in those days as well. Okay, it's evolutionary, shall we say, and it's a survival evolutionary instinct to have routines. And if you think about it, if you have a day that is completely different from one day to the next, you get up at a different time every single day, you have your first meal of the day at a different time, you don't know what you're having for your first meal of the day, you don't know where you're getting your first meal of the day, you don't know what your work schedule is going to look like on any particular day. So that is obviously very stressful and can lead to a very stressed out system. And that can leave us feeling very highly strung, excuse me, and just leads to an overall negative experience of experiencing life in general. Okay. And why we implement these routines throughout the day, our morning routines, our nighttime routines, is to create a form of safety within ourselves. Okay. And to make us feel, no matter where we are in the world, grounded and at peace. Okay. So for example, my morning routines, or my routine throughout the day, is the exact same no matter where I am in the world. So if I'm traveling back to Ireland to visit family, or if I'm going to a show to see friends step on stage and I'm staying at an Airbnb in a different part of England or a different part of the country, or when I was living in Spain, when I was living in Marbella, nothing about my routine changed. It was literally the exact same copy and paste, carbon copy. And that allowed me to feel much more calm and at peace and grounded in stressful situations, because travel inherently is a little bit stressful. Living in a different country is a little bit stressful. When we're going through tumultuous parts of our life, stressful parts of our life where your life is being upheaved or things like that, those routines can help us feel a lot more calm, a lot more in control, which is what we want to feel. So, for example, my morning routine. So we'll just get straight into it. Okay.
Awesome.
Or do you have anything else to add in terms of like what benefits more routines bring us?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. It gives us that sense of just groundedness in the day. And I think if you don't know how you're going to wake up, you don't know how you're going to act throughout the rest of the day. I always say the mood you set at the start of the day gets to be what you continue through the rest of it. If you wake up in chaos, you're going to continue to create chaos in your day. That's just it, full stop. I could not imagine just waking up, rolling out of bed. Like, I'd be a bitch. Like, sorry, but I would be. Like, I don't know what's coming out of my mouth then. If I'm not grounded, if I'm not regulated, if I'm not like, no, like I'm just not risking that, you know. It's
Yeah.
for the greater good. It's actually for the greater good to take care of your own mental and physical health in the morning. Have things that you do in place that are for a reason, and be intentional with the start of your day and present, because then you can bring that level of intentionality and presence throughout the rest of your day. So yeah, 100%.
And what Lucy touched on there as well is like why we do these things in the morning isn't just to make us feel at peace and grounded and like woo-woo moon astrology shit. Um,
What's
they
wrong with the
have
moon?
every single thing that we do in the morning or part of our routines throughout the day, I can guarantee has some form of a mental or physical or physiological benefit to our health.
Yes.
Okay. So now this isn't going to be like a total Andrew Huberman, like copy and paste morning routine, because that shit is unrealistic. Okay. Unrealistic.
Yeah, nah.
But there will be parts that might be similar to what he says, but it's not because we're not doing it because he's saying it to do it. We've done this before we even knew who Andrew Huberman was.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway,
we've done a lot of trial and error, guys. Like, this
yeah,
is the thing as well. We don't just have one set routine. Like, it's like, okay, we've built it to become that way. As I said, I used to have a 2-hour routine.
yeah,
Like, that's unsustainable. We've built the things because it's like, okay, what do I like? What do I not like? And you become very, very good at finding what works for you. So if you are starting with this routine after, I'm sure you'll be inspired after this episode, just go easy and trial and error. See
yeah.
what leaves you feeling good in the day. See what set you up well. See what made you feel good. You know what I mean.
Baby
Okay,
steps,
so let's get into
baby
your
steps.
morning routine.
Yeah, and
Yes.
baby steps. You don't want to go full hog 2 hour morning routine first go. And like Lucy said, it's not, you're not going to get it right, or you're not that it's like right or wrong, but you're not going to figure it out or have it sorted or have it perfect for you the first time you try it, or even the first week you try it. It's trial and error. And don't go in trying to do like 5 different things all at once in the morning, because one, you're going to stress yourself out even more by doing that. Try one little thing at a time. So adding one element to your morning routine for 1 week. Okay. Just starting with, for example, getting up at the same time every single day. As simple as that. Okay. So my morning routine. Okay. There'll be elements of this that I do every single day. There'll be elements that I don't do every single day that I'll just see how I'm feeling when I wake up in the morning. So, for example, this morning, woke up without an alarm at 5:30 a.m. Okay. That was my kind of a little bit of sleep in this morning for Saturday morning. And I just laid in bed for a little bit, didn't look at my phone. Just it was like, okay, where's Flex? Flex is there. He's doing his thing. As he's chewing a toy in the background. I do apologize about that. I hope you cannot hear it. Then I decided, like 5 minutes after that, after just being present with my mind, not thinking about really anything apart from I'm in this bed, I'm really cozy, I'm warm. And again, those can be moments of gratitude when you first wake up in the morning too. This lovely bed that I'm waking up on, a roof over my head, this comfy bed, this warm room. Okay. And I get up out of my bed and I open the curtains. Okay. We're going like super detailed here. Open the curtains. It was still dark, obviously, when I woke up. And then I went downstairs, let Flex out to do his business and boil the kettle. And I made my first drink of the morning, which is a decaf coffee, because I don't drink caffeinated beverages within the first couple of hours of waking up. And I haven't done for a couple of months now. And it's been absolutely a game changer. And I'll also make a hydration mix. So I'll put a tiny little bit of salt into my shaker cup. I'll put in an electrolyte supplement. The one that I'm using currently is Conte Sports HydroFlow. don't have a code, wish I did. Or I will use the Strom supplements Hydromax, which is also fantastic, because there are benefits, noted benefits to awakening your adrenal complex system, I believe. With having electrolytes first thing in the morning, your body's more responsive to electrolytes than it is to caffeine. So I'll go back up to my room, bring up my cup of coffee or decaf coffee, bring up my small shaker of like 250, 300 ml of electrolytes. And then I will either sit in my bed and just enjoy the caffeine, enjoy the coffee for what it is, enjoy the electrolytes for what it is, without looking at anything, without looking at my phone, or I will open a book or open my Daily Stoic, 365 Meditations by Ryan Holiday, and I'll read that. Or some mornings I will do that plus my gratitude journal that I have beside my bed. All of these things are beside my bed on my bedside locker. All of the books that I think I will crave when I wake up. Or I'll do my gratitude. Or I will open another book that I'm reading at that current moment in time. Now, some mornings I don't read at all, and I will open my phone to open the Insight Timer app. Okay, I have the free version of the Insight Timer app, and there are thousands upon thousands of free, amazing meditations on Insight Timer that are really easy to follow along, and you'll find exactly what you need for that particular morning. So if you're typing in, let's say, morning routine into, let's say, morning routine meditation into Insight Timer, there will be hundreds of, let's say, different meditations there for you to access. Or if I'm looking for, let's say there's something, let's say I'm going through a particularly stressful moment in my life, I'll look for stressful morning meditation or stress easing morning meditation or anxiety easing morning meditation. Okay. And I will more than likely always do a meditation first thing in the morning before opening my phone or notifications or things like that. Then after that, after I've had my morning decaf and my Hydromax or my HydroFlow, I get ready, I put on my clothes and I get ready to take Flex for his walk first thing in the morning when the sunlight is a little bit brighter, but more often than not now, coming into the winter months, it's still dark when I wake up in the morning. So I'll be having my morning walk first thing in the morning and it is still dark outside. Getting that activity in outside first thing in the morning, one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Okay, wakes you up a little bit better without any like stimulants in your body. And I'm also getting that one-on-one quality time with Flex when I take him out in the morning. So depending on how many like steps I need during like that particular season of my life, that particular like part of my year, my competitive year, I'll either go for a 20 or 50-minute walk and enjoy that walk out in the fields, out in nature, away from the traffic. And I'll come back and then I will come back. I will get ready for my morning cardio now because I'm doing cardio, obviously with being in prep. I'll give Flex his breakfast and I'll put him into his crate while I'm gone. I'll head to the gym, bring my gym bag with me. It's already packed from the night before, and head to the gym and do my cardio. Then once I'm done my cardio, I do a few steps afterwards on the treadmill just to bring my heart rate back down to a much like lower resting heart rate rather than the like 170 beats per minute on the Stairmaster. And as part of like my routine now, while I'm in prep, once I'm finished my, let's say, steps on the treadmill, I will go and practice my posing. I will do some abs or I will do calves depending on the morning. And I will come back and get my meals ready for the day. And I'll have a shower and I'll start work. And that's my morning routine.
Love that.
So yeah, that's how I start my morning routine. Nothing massively fancy, nothing super duper long. Like that's just part of how I do my morning routine. I will say when I'm on the Stairmaster doing cardio, I find that's an excellent time to respond to any emails or messages that have come in from the night before. And I will also say, because Lucy and Miss Danny, who is in Las Vegas, Danny is this morning 0 days out and you are 1 week out. The past month, I have been having them check in twice a day, 3 times a week. And then the past couple of weeks, literally every single day, I've had them checking in morning and evening every single day. So I'm very conscious of the fact that I need to respond to them in a timely fashion. So as soon as I wake up now, after I've done my morning meditation, Lucy and Danny get my attention first thing in the morning, deservedly so. And that is just part of my routine at this moment in time. Once they are finished prep and once they're, let's say, out the other side of the post-show period, I won't be as prompt to respond first thing in the morning because I deserve that time as well. But anyway, as you can see, there's nothing crazy like in terms of my morning routine. It's just setting me up for the day. Some mornings I will do breath work if I'm feeling particularly anxious and I can't catch my breath. That's me noticing that I need to do something in order to fix that. Okay. So yeah, that's
and
my
just to riff off that, can you give us like a thing that particularly physically and mentally, how that really sets you up perfectly for the day?
So mentally, it sets me up for the day in a much more positive sense. I'm not looking at my phone when I wake up first thing in the morning, and I'm not letting my phone or social media decide what my mood is going to be. Okay. So many people do that first thing when they wake up in the morning, reach for their phone, start scrolling. That is going to suck the energy out of you. Oh my God, I cannot emphasize that enough. It is going to suck the life out of you. You're pouring that first energy that you accumulate during the morning, and you're pouring it into a device that's giving you nothing back. Okay. Pour into the things that are going to re-energize you, that are going to bring life back into you. And I know this sounds a little bit woo-woo out there, but if you think about it, reading first thing in the morning, doing a meditation, doing some breath work, or even just cuddling your pet in your bed, those are things that are going to give you energy. Okay. And feed your soul. So that it sets me up for a positive day, starts me off with a successful morning for the rest of the day. Oh my God, Katie. Sets me up for a successful morning, starts off with a successful, positive morning. And as I always say, start the day as you mean to go on. Okay. So if you're waking up in a grateful mood, a positive mood, you can be bloody damn well sure that you're going to experience the day more positively and more grateful. And then from the physical sense, I'm getting that activity first thing in the morning. I'm moving my body. I'm giving my body what it needs first thing in the morning. I'm not slouching around, staying in bed for 2 hours, doing nothing or scrolling my phone or watching YouTube or anything like that. I'm getting out, I'm moving my body. I'm giving it what it needs, what it craves first thing in the morning. Before starting work, doing all of this stuff before starting work. Okay. And I know how important our work is to us. And I know how important work is to a lot of people and the people that we work with as well. But you have to give yourself that time and energy of pouring into yourself before you start pouring to other people. So the analogy of filling your glass up first and letting that overflow before you actually start pouring into others.
Yeah, love that. That's perfect. The perfect explanation. So you can see so clearly there, guys, that like that is such an intentionally created morning routine in order to feel good, both physically and mentally. If any of those bits were out, yeah, maybe sure it would be just as good, but it's like, it's the combination of all those things that's so intentionally curated that makes it possible to slay the day, essentially.
Slay the day. It's funny, like, and I've said this to a couple of clients as well. It's like, I crave my nighttime routine. I crave my morning routine. So I look forward to when I wake up in the morning. I look forward to waking up. That was not the case for a very long time. I look forward to getting into bed at the end of the evening. I look forward to both of those things. So because I've created this or curated this to be so intentionally specific to me, what I need for my mind and my body and my soul.
Love it. I love it. Let's so good. Mine's fairly similar.
Yeah, let's get into
it. Oh, it's similar, but it's definitely more woo-woo, which is not surprising, guys. Okay, okay. So at the moment, I'm an early bird, but at the moment I'm getting my alarm goes off at 10 to 4. And then I get out of bed at 4. So I give myself like 10 minutes to just get out of bed and just like wake myself up. I usually do fall asleep again in that 10 minutes if I'm really raw, but you know, it makes the second wake up not as aggressive because I'm not about that. Like I can't just open my eyes and like get up. I used to do that. I used to do the thing of like phone on the other side of the room. And then I was like, actually like low-key, my adrenals are hating this. So I give myself 10 minutes, I get up. I can't open blinds because obviously Zachy boy is asleep next to me. So I tiptoe around the man's to make sure I don't stir him up in his slumber. But first thing I do, oral hygiene, brush my teeth, tongue scrape, all that jazz, go to the toilet, and then I leave our bedroom so that it stays all nice and dark for him. And I turn on the lamps in our like middle room where it's like really warm. I have my nice PJs on and I do my meditation straight away. Like straight away, I don't even give myself time to think. I just get straight into my meditation. And as you guys probably know through the podcast and stuff like that, I'm like an avid meditator. I've not missed a day in like over 6 years. Like it's just my thing. I've never missed a day. Like I can't, it's just my thing. But the way that I have meditated has definitely shifted over the years. And there's like lots of different ways that I've meditated. I don't do like voiceover meditations. I can't. For me, I need to hear my own voice. And that's how I get my clarity, and that's how I get my downloads, and like how I feel really, really powerful within myself. So I've done a lot of different types of meditation. At the moment, I'm doing like quantum energy meditation, which is pretty cool. And I just love it. And I could sit there all day. Like I could sit there for 10 hours, but like obviously we don't have 10 hours. So, and it is 4 a.m. So I'm like, all right, bitch, like get to cardio, you know? So I do my meditation. Sometimes I do a little bit of Reiki as well. If you guys don't know, I am actually a Reiki healer. Like, I don't even know if you know that. Do you know that?
I know that. Yeah, I know that.
You know that? Okay. Yeah. So I am a Reiki healer. So if I feel that I need it on the day and I feel like a bit scatty and disconnected, I'll always like do my Reiki because that is just a thing that I love. I don't practice on anyone. Don't DM me. Don't DM me. I don't practice on people anymore. It's for me only. Anyway, so I do that, and I always end my meditation with a form of gratitude, however that may be. Sometimes I cry. Like it just depends on the day. Like honestly, it can be deep. I just love it. Okay. Then I am a coffee person in the morning. I do have a coffee first thing in the morning. It's just one shot though. It's not very strong. But it's the placebo effect for me of I'm doing my stairs and I'm going to smash my stairs because I've had my vanilla fucking espresso pod. So I have a little potty. I have my pill because, you know, I'm on birth control, and I have about half a liter of water to almost a liter. Like I love to get my water in the morning because I go straight pretty much to cardio. So I need to be hydrated. So I drink that at home. After I've weighed myself, obviously I do my weigh in, I do my photos for Katie straight away, and then I'd make those drinks. So they're just brewing in the background. Do my skin, get ready. I always, this is a key thing. I always have my clothes laid out the night before. Everything is laid out. Socks, undies, everything, boom, 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 is laid out next to my headphones, waist trainer, bag, go. Like there is no decisions in the morning. I don't want to think about anything other than like how good I'm feeling from that meditation. So I know, okay, I'm wearing that, brilliant, let's get out the door. So I do all that, send my photos to Katie, have a little chat with Katie as I'm walking to the gym, and then I put my phone away. I walk to the gym. It's pretty dark. I used to drive, but obviously now I'm walking, and I actually love it. Like I'm not going to go back to driving. I actually really love it. And it just gets in some steps as well. So doing my little walk to the gym, spill half my coffee on my hand, do all the things. And then I get to the gym and I do my cardio, which is incredible. I put my big headphones on and I always have like a set going. So it's like 420 and we're 420, that's for sure. We are like going for it. But when I like just the way that I process information within myself and I like journal and things like that, I actually really like having music in my ears, no lyrics, just like boof, 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 whatever it is. So I always have a SoundCloud set on. I do like a couple minutes to warm up, and then I will do my journaling on my phone in my notes app as I'm doing my cardio. In and out, depending on how like gassed I'm getting. Like if I'm like dripping in sweat, like I'm putting that phone down, I'm just like head down, getting into it. But it just depends. Like if I'm warming up and stuff, like getting into it. And I can write like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of words. I could write for 40 minutes. Like I just write and write and write and write, whatever I feel like writing about that day. And I just will keep going. And that's my way of journaling. That's my way of connecting to myself. I'm huge on it. I'll do stuff for the future, stuff for like anything, whatever comes to me. And I just love it. Okay. So then I finish off my cardio and then I go and do some steps as well because I'm already at the gym. So I do steps on the treadmill there and I calm down there. And then what I'll usually do is watch like a training. So like a masterclass or a course, or listen to a podcast, or I'll write some content out. I don't respond to clients yet because I have like times that I'm in response times. So usually I won't unless it's like a really pressing matter, then I'll respond. But I don't do any responses at that time of morning. No one wants their phone to buzz at 5. They're like, Lucy, can you piss off? And I'm like, go, I'm up. So yeah, I will watch a training or something, do some homework from that training, set myself some homework, and then I go home. Depending on the day, I have 2 days in the week where I actually start my work in the gym floor. So I'll have my meal with me already packed, made the night before. That is always prepared the night before, ready to go. I bring it with me, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And then I'll have like my change of clothes for work. But on my other days that I start at home, which I've now like shifted to being like 5 days of the week, which is cool. I will go home. I'll make like I have like a matcha green tea, and I do my electrolytes as well. I have keto electrolytes that just like nothing in them. They're incredible. I just love it. Finish off and probably another liter of water, and then I'll be preparing my breakfast at that time. And then I'll either be in silence while I do all of that, or I'll have a training on that I've been listening to on the way home. And then I'll sit down and read. I've actually been reading at the moment. I'm like the world's worst reader. Like genuinely, I'm cross-eyed when I read. It's really bad. So I've been training myself to read again and like actually to focus, because I know it's just because my brain likes to go to different directions. So I've been training myself to focus, and I'm reading, it's actually just next to me, Game Changers by Dave Asprey. I really love it. And also it's actually a reread, and I'm also rereading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. Oh no, Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza.
I'm
Also
reading that
incredible.
as
Love
well.
Joe Dispenza. Are you? Incredible. Love him. Yeah. It's really funny. I'm going through it, and I used to be like really, really, really big into Joe Dispenza, and I'm going through this book and I've got like highlights on every second word. I'm like, Lucy, chill out. What were you thinking? Like every second word was gospel. Like, come on, man. It's just like boom, boom, boom. What? Quantum, boom, energy. Like, it's hilarious. Anyway, so it's like hard to read because it's like so chaotic. There's like dashes and lines and little notes everywhere. I'm like, fuck me, dude.
Oh,
Anyway.
love it. Love it. Yeah, I've been reading on the Stairmaster in the mornings as well. And I find it like that a
Incredible.
very meditative process. Because just like you said, I found that my brain and my mind was very scattered and finding it very hard to focus on one task. So kind of like ADHD like. So when it comes to those sorts of things, just force yourself to stick to one thing. That's mindfulness in of itself, is just focusing on the task at hand, or focusing on your breath, or focusing on being mindful in this particular moment without letting your mind wander. And if it does wander, notice that and bring yourself back to the present moment. Sorry,
Yeah, I love that. No, that's exactly it though. That's exactly what this whole thing is, right? And it's like for me, I find the movement like of my Stairmaster or my walking, I always absorb information better that way. But if I'm gonna like, if I'm challenging something, for instance, like I'm challenging reading at the moment, I need to be sitting, no noise, just book in front of my eyes. Like that's how it needs to be done. So yeah, I'll usually do, if I can, a little bit of reading as I have that, and I have my first meal then. And this is all between the space of 3:50 to 6 a.m. and then I start work usually at 6 a.m. each day, depending on the day. Like if I'm in the gym floor, I'll start always at 6. And then if I'm at home, it's usually a bit later. So I go and like get Zach a coffee because I'm freaking amazing. So I go and like get the man a little coffee and wake him up, which is, yeah, I know. And then we just like have a little coffee together, and he gets ready for the day, and I just start Voxering clients, plugging in, and yeah, so I love it. So, and I'll answer that question as well that I asked you. So physically, that sets me up because one, for me, that coffee, that water, the electrolytes, all of that gets my digestion moving. And now, obviously, with less food at the moment, it's not as relevant. But in the improvement season, or when I'm just even at maintenance calories, you want to be getting your digestion moving in the morning, guys. And that's one thing that we first implemented when we started working together, was like, go for a walk, okay, and having the right like things in the morning food wise, and like water and everything like that. That's going to get bowels moving, and that's a really important thing for me. And also, when I can, I will get the sunlight in. So usually the walk home from the gym, the sun might be coming up, so I'll get sunlight in. But if I can, as soon as the sun is up, I'm outside getting sunlight, whether I'm doing work, Voxering, WhatsApping, whatever it is, I'm getting sun in my eyes, because it actually really helps correlate to the evening sleep. Okay. And yeah, so physically, digestion is moving. I'm energized. I'm really energized when I get these things in. I can't roll out of bed and just be in the same place. Like I just can't like be in my house. I got to get out. Like let's get out and let's set a few different like environments for the day. So my brain is like, oh, we've done things this morning, right? Not just like, oh, how can I focus on work? I can't. Okay, so I need some space. I need some energy and some movement. So it's really energizing for me. And then mentally, obviously, like that's kind of goes without saying, but I've set myself up for the day because I've just plugged into my own brain for like an hour through meditation and journaling and talking to myself, essentially, because I'm that gal. And it feels so good for me. And then that actually gives me the space to then, when my clients want to plug in, and when I have 10 like calls a day on mindset, I'm not worrying about my own crap. I'm like, oh yeah, sorted myself out this morning. We good. And I actually found some techniques that are really going to work and, help my clients today. So it puts me in the driver's seat. And then I feel really good for the rest of the day. So yeah, that is my morning routine, all very intentionally curated. It's been dramatically cut down actually with the onset of prep. Like there's not the onset, just being in prep, because there's obviously things that, like maybe in the past I would like sit and have my coffee for a while, but now I really like getting to the gym and do my cardio because I do start work at that 6 o'clock mark. That's not negotiable. So it's like just shifting things and making things a priority where they need to be, and then getting the joy in the other times. On a Sunday, like I'm going to sit and have my coffee and read my book, and then I'm going to go do cardio. So yeah, it's making it work for you. While I'm not saying go into your quantum energy meditation right now, that's not necessary. You might want to, okay? You might want to do that, and that's really cool as well. Don't DM me about Reiki. Don't, okay? Yeah.
Me DMing Lucy for Reiki afterwards. So what I'd say, that is a beautifully curated morning routine. And again, that suits you for this season of your life. Okay. And like you said, it can definitely cut down with being on prep and whatnot, but it's still very intentional. And like you said, with the type of work that you and I do, you're very much so pouring a lot of energy into other people, and you're pouring a lot of effort into other people. So starting the morning off in a way that you're giving to yourself first before like giving to anybody else is super, super important. Now, our morning routines, like we've just said, are specific to us because we don't have kids, we own our own businesses, we run our own, we're entrepreneurs. And let's say we're getting up at like right now, both of us, like around 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's not going to be realistic for general population. Okay. Not realistic. So what I would say to help you first get started off in your morning and your morning routine is doing one round of box breathing. Okay. Flex, can you chill the fuck out? Okay. You're a bit much.
Because he had carbs. He's had carbs. He's like me.
He's like, why aren't we on our walk? So
my morning routine.
Yeah. Our dogs have morning routines.
They do.
They literally do. So what I was saying there is to get started off in the most smallest, most minuscule way, no matter who you are, you have time for 60 seconds of breath work. Yeah. Okay. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, do not look at your phone. Do 4 rounds of box breathing. What is box breathing? It's a 4 count in through your nose, 4 count hold, 4 count out through your mouth, 4 count hold. And you repeat that 4 times. That's just over a minute's breath work. And if you tell me you do not have time for 1 minute's breath work when you wake up in the morning, you are telling me a lie. Okay, get your shit together. And if you want to add in a second thing, if you're feeling brave, or if you want to wait until like the second week that you've done this breath work to add in another thing, get in some morning movement outside. Yeah. Some sort of movement outside without your phone, or if you are in a place where you don't feel safe and you have to bring your phone with you, bring your phone, but just keep it in your pocket. Don't look at it, okay? Even if it's just 5 minutes of walking first thing in the morning, that is setting you up for a much more successful day. Like you were saying, it helps with digestion. It helps with blood glucose regulation. And if you are getting that sunlight exposure first thing in the morning as well, that helps set your circadian rhythm. Okay. And that ties into your body telling you the correct time to get ready for sleep in the evening time as well. I see so many people, girls that I work with, who don't listen to me when I tell them to go for a walk first thing in the morning. And those ones who don't listen to me, they all have issues with their sleep.
Interesting. So, wow.
Yeah. So that is how I would recommend like kind of getting started with a morning routine. And then as you do those things, you can add, let's say, so for example, I've had a couple of girls start with me the past couple of months, and we've been adding in meditation and journaling to their morning routines. But we didn't just start off doing everything all at once like we talked about. I was like, okay, so we'll set the goal this week to do 2 meditations in the morning time. Okay, and we'll see how we like it. And I was like, when I was telling them to do these things, I was like, you'll probably find that next week, after doing those 2 morning meditations, you're going to crave to do another one. So to do 3. And then the week after you do the 3, you're going to crave to do 4 or 5 mornings of meditation or journaling or writing down your gratitude. And now those girlies, they're doing a meditation 6 out of the 7 or 7 out of 7 days every single week. They're plugging in by journaling or writing down gratitudes at the end of the day, or at the beginning of their day. And they are feeling so good about themselves. They're like, I think I've shared like one girl in particular's response into like how she's feeling so much better about herself. She feels like she's actually living now, where she felt like before she was just existing. So
Amazing.
that's what I want everyone to feel like. I want to feel like they're living a life, living instead of it just existing. Because
Yeah.
so many people,
Yeah.
the majority of people in this world are just existing and letting life happen to them.
Yeah, guys, and it's exactly that. It's like when you just wake up, roll out of bed and see what the day, like see how the day comes. Are you choosing anything? No, you're not choosing yourself. You're not choosing yourself. So all of my clients, every single week, they answer the question. I don't care if it's a routine is the same. They answer the question, what was your morning routine? What was your nighttime routine? I need to know. And that is one of the biggest things I implement. And the strategy I sort of use are very, very similar to what you're saying here. The strategy I typically use is like I've got 4 pillars. Okay. We're not going to hit all the pillars every week. We're not going to hit all the pillars at once. We've got 4 pillars. Choose what you want. Hydrate. Okay. Simples. Hydrate. Okay. Sunlight, get some light, get some at least air, fresh air. Movement, even if it is 2 cat cows, I don't give a shit. Cat cow it out for 20 seconds. Amazing. You've committed to moving your body. And then 4th, connect. Journal, meditate, Voxer me. I encourage my clients, Voxer me when you get up. I want to hear what you're thinking. I want to hear what you think. Voxer is a voice memo thing. Yeah. I want to hear what you're thinking, guys. Like, tell me. And sometimes if they're just like, pen to paper is not feeling good for them, I'm like, okay, yeah, you plug in each morning. I want to hear what you're thinking. And they're like, oh, Jesus, I have to think about myself. So yeah, there's pillars we can follow. There's all the things. Start slowly, as we just said, one thing at a time. Even the box breathing, like that's perfect. You've got 60 seconds when you're sitting on the toilet. Okay, so just make it happen. Exactly. Make it happen, and we can. Like I promise you, your life will change. Your life will just you actually change. Like
absolutely. So if you're a person who is finding a little bit of resistance to journaling, this is a very good, it's a very cathartic and meditative process in of itself. And why I definitely recommend it to a lot of people is because, like we were talking about earlier, it forces you to focus on one task at that particular time and focus on one thing and give your energy to that one thing. But also it helps you to actually slow down your mind from racing, because you can't write as fast as your mind is thinking. So you actually have to it forces you to slow down. It forces you to slow down and actually think out the things that you're thinking and put them on a piece of paper. And if your mind is feeling like this first thing in the morning or at nighttime, which is the biggest thing that I like see with clients, they feel like their mind is all bungled up, or that there's a million things racing around in their mind and they can't fall asleep because all of these things are racing around their mind. Take it out, pen to paper. Okay. Because if you write it down on a piece of paper, it is out of your mind and it's on that piece of paper. You don't have to worry about it then, or worry about forgetting about it, because you've put it on that piece of paper. Okay.
I preach that till the cows come home. Oh my God. I'm like, and I don't do it anymore. But when I used to be like, as a kid, I was the most stressed out little freaking bunny. The only thing that would put me to sleep was going through my ballet solos. How cooked is that? But when I learned, there's actually just thoughts in your head. If you put them on a piece of paper, you're not thinking about them. And I would keep a notebook next to my bed because I'd wake up in the night, that plie exercise, and write down what I needed to. So then you just go, I'm back to sleep now. Get it out of your head. It's actually very simple. Just put it down on paper. And then you know what? It also rationalizes thoughts, because you go, that was a bit much, or, okay, I can see what I need to focus on tomorrow. But if you just try and turn the brain off at night, it's just sometimes impossible. And I can imagine you guys, like a lot of you may have really stressful jobs and you've got kids and you've got a lot of stuff on your plate. Okay. So take some of it off your plate, put it on the paper. You can deal with it in the morning, but your brain deserves to just shut off a little bit. So I just love that. I preach that.
Yeah. And if you're still finding resistance to journaling, one thing that I've found very beneficial for some people is actually voice noting themselves. So
love it.
if you're, let's say, out on your walk in the morning, or if you're still sitting in bed and you don't want to write, just voice note yourself, voice note your thoughts, what you're thinking through. And you don't have to listen to it back, but when you listen to it back, you're hearing yourself from a different perspective. Because even if, let's say, like we learned this in university. So if you're talking and you hear yourself talking, like just now, it sounds a lot different when you're listening to yourself back on a recording. So one thing that we did was we put our hands in front of our ears, because you're blocking that pathway for you to hear yourself. So I sound completely different right now compared to now. So go on, chat there now.
Wait, oh wow. Oh wow. Is this what I sound like? Like, am I now hearing myself?
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus fuck.
it's cooked, isn't
I'm
it?
quite nice.
This should be the
Actually kind of better.
this should
And
be
we can
the
see the
thumbnail for
video.
the video.
Yes. Do you dare? Yes, so good. I love that. It's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so those are like some little tidbits, some recommendations for like getting started with a morning routine of some sort. And I want you guys to actually devote to yourself this upcoming week and pick one practice that you are going to practice every single morning, and let us know in the comment section on YouTube, or send us a DM how you got on or how you're feeling differently the week afterwards. Are you craving to do more? Are you feeling different about yourself? Are you feeling more energized? Are you noticing patterns or shifts within you because of that one practice that you've done first thing in the morning?
Yeah. Make it a challenge for yourself. We're holding you accountable.
Yeah.
Make it a challenge for yourself. Just try it. What, you're worth it. I'll tell you now, you're worth it.
Yeah, you're worth it. Flicks her. Anyway.
Love that. What a full stop statement. Love that.
Yeah.
But you are, guys. You are really. And if you can't put 2 minutes into yourself in the morning, how do you expect? This is the other thing. Okay, just give me a second here. If you can't put 2 minutes into yourself in the morning, how do you expect anyone else to?
Yeah.
I always say to myself, Lucy, if you can't love yourself intentionally for 2 minutes, why do you expect your partner to? Why do you expect your parents? Why do you expect other people to if you can't do it for yourself? So I will always give to myself, and I'll also hold a standard of I need to be a role model for my clients as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it just lifts the bar. So it's like, who are you role modeling for? If you have maybe a child one day, or even a pet, or whatever it might be, it's like you could be a role model for them by intentionally giving yourself 2 minutes. It shows that you care about yourself, shows you respect yourself, and shows you value your energy and the way you're going to navigate your day.
Yes.
Oh, is this a motivational podcast?
Yeah. So that's one thing that like I went through with a client, is like, if you are putting this energy out into the world where you don't take care of yourself, and you don't intentionally, like, you don't like yourself, you don't care enough to put energy into yourself, you are literally putting that energy out into the world and telling everybody else that you encounter for the day throughout your life that they get to treat you just as bad, if not worse,
Yes.
than you are treating yourself. This is like the basics of boundary setting. So once you start treating yourself better, once you start taking care of yourself better, people notice that. People notice when you take better care of yourself, not just on the physical sense, but on the mindset sense, the emotional sense, the mental sense. When you start taking better care of yourself, people start noticing that and learn how to treat you. If you're a boss ass bitch, okay, I hate that phrase, and you take no shit from nobody, and you take the utmost care of yourself, nobody's going to treat you poorly. Nobody's going to disrespect you. Nobody's going to break boundaries that you've put in place for yourself and other people in your life. Nobody's going to do that, because they know not to fucking mess with you, because you're not over anymore.
I think that needs to be an entire episode. Let's do an entire episode on that.
Boundary
Guys,
setting.
it's what you make yourself available for.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a whole, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna light shit up for people. But yeah, it's exactly right, guys. It's a ripple effect. And you know what? Like, without sounding woo-woo, we're doing this for the collective. Like, okay, it's not just about you, it's bigger than you. Because if you set yourself up for an incredible day, you're going to more likely have a positive influence on someone else's day to have an incredible day. You wake up with the craps and you're all pissed off and you're all moody and whatever, and you run out of the door with a piece of toast. What energy does that set for your children or your friends or your co-workers or your, like, what are you unconsciously actually just doing to the people around you? Okay, it's up to you. You get to respect yourself, and you will gain more respect from people. If you love yourself, you will gain more love from people. It's a give and take, but you got to give it to yourself first. So it really, this episode is anchored for me. It starts in the morning, because that's where your standards start for the day. If you can hold a high standard of yourself in the morning, if you can hold a high level of respect and care for yourself in the morning, that's going to ripple on into your day and into your life. So if you are not convinced by now that a morning routine is worthwhile, go back to the start of the episode, listen again and again and again and again until you realize that you are worth caring about with this level of intentionality. I think that's pretty good.
I think that's an excellent place to wrap up the episode as well. Like we could get into nighttime routines, but that would just be another hour long.
It's a 2-hour app.
So,
That's
yeah.
giving Cuban the vibes, yeah.
So you don't want to listen to us for that long. You guys have shit to do. But definitely, I think next couple of episodes, we're going to talk about boundary setting, and then we'll do another episode on nighttime routines and the benefits of the nighttime routine too.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, guys, I really hope you got something out of today and you really enjoyed it. Like, I feel like that was a very, very positive, influencing episode for you guys. And it just, you know what, this is the thing, we walk the walk. Like, Katie and I, we do these things, and we've been doing these things for years. Like, I can speak on behalf of both of us on this. We have been having solid morning routines, solid standards for years, and doesn't mean they don't up level. Like, I up level everything I can, and I try and optimize anything I can, but it's understanding that we've made that commitment to ourselves for years, and we can see the benefit of it. And that's why we get to feel the way we do in the day for the most part. And because we make it, right? We really intentionally make it. So you get to do this too. And I've seen the biggest effect in my clients in the most positive ways, and my family and my friends, like, and everyone, like, for having a solid morning routine, because it's committing to you. So I really, really hope that you got some inspiration from this episode, and there were things that were like, oh, maybe I'll try that, or maybe I'll try that, or that makes sense, or oh, I would like to feel hydrated in the morning, and all the things. Guys, I think you're really gonna enjoy getting into a morning routine. And yeah, set it as a challenge for yourself to pick one thing, anything we talked about here, and just try. What is the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna feel good. So sorry.
So sorry. So sad. Right.
Yeah, but that's all.
Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.